Hey, apparently the guy who's doing the style switch report for DMC HD, apparently that's going to be out maybe as soon as by the time you see this, if not later today. So I might go ahead and buy that. I have enough Patreon funds from you guys to get it, so I might try that out later. But today I wanted to talk about the mechanics of Sengoku 3 since there's not really a whole lot of information about this game. Now, like I said, the manual mentions pretty much everything. But before I start, I'm going to let you know that I have the buttons for this for the bare hand attack or the martial arts attack and the weapon attack. I have those reversed because that's just how I've always played. Back when this first got dumped on like MAME and Neo Rage X like eons ago. That's how I always played because I didn't have a stick back then. I played on a controller and it was just more natural for me to play with the martial arts button on square and the weapon attack on triangle. So you may have to reverse things, but you should be able to get the gist of how it works. Actually, let me put it on level 1, so I'm not going to get bodied so much while I'm explaining all this stuff. Now, I've explained a bunch of this in the past, but I don't think too many people cared because it was so hard to play this game in general. That's your full combo right there. Basically, you have like a martial arts string that ends with this. Like that's your martial arts string, and then here's your weapon string. So what you're doing is you're basically combining both of them together to extend your combo. And at any point, you can dash cancel. Go like that. Now for the finishers, you can't really cancel except for your martial arts one, so like that little kick he does, you can cancel out of that, but not your weapon string finisher. At any point you can cancel into your ninja arts as well, which are basically just your specials. The thing that makes this game difficult, you can see I'm not playing that well because I'm trying to explain all this stuff, but basically all the enemies have like really privileged hitboxes. It feels like a lot of them have like half screen range and they actually do pretty good damage as well, so you always have to stay on your toes, try to take things out efficiently. Now, if you want to do advanced combos that involve jumping in the air and using your air strings, you will have to hit the enemy with both the hitbox of your dash and your dash martial arts attack. If you hit them with just the other one, you don't have enough time since you can't jump cancel in this game. You can only dash cancel, so you have to hit them with this and then that. You kind of have to time it a little bit. That'll give you just enough time to go into your air string. And your air string is basically just martial arts to weapon back and forth. You can do it as many times as you want. And then when you land, you can do stuff like just a basic punch, and then go into your ninja art. Now I have it on level 1 right now, so it's going to be kind of hard to show it, but I'll try. Oops. Now the little projectile weapons, they actually have different uses. The shuriken is pretty much just good to launch things in the air, kind of get them out of your way for a while. There's also a kunai weapon as well. That just does a lot of damage. It doesn't stagger, or it doesn't like launch enemies away. So you can use that on bosses to kind of get around their infinite protection. I'll be explaining that shortly. I tried to get over there. Like, you have some pretty generous hitboxes in this game, but the enemies have even more generous hitboxes. It's not uncommon for, like, the most generic mooks, like the only two enemies that have been introduced so far, for them to just completely decimate you from off screen. So coming up next is the boss. You're probably wondering, if you watch people play this, why they don't do crazy combos on the bosses. Basically, when you hit an enemy or a boss in the air, you can only hit them with one more attack. So generally what you do is you go into your most damaging special, and it will hit for the entire duration. But if you try to do anything else, they'll instantly block and tech out of it. So generally you want to do your full combo up to the final part of your martial arts string, and then whatever the best special for the situation is. That varies from character to character. So I'll try to demonstrate that here. Missed a couple hits there because this book was kind of getting in the way. There we go. You see how much damage that does. I am on level 1 right now, but it still do a pretty good chunk of their health bar. So that's the basics. You want to dash cancel as much as you can because it's the only way that you can make things safe aside from using your Super Joy, which obviously takes health like every other game. And when you get to a boss, you don't want to do anything fancy. If you do have the kunai, you want to make sure you align with them, and you can spam that and take off a ridiculous amount of their health. But that's basically the game. That's basically most of the mechanics. The rest is pretty much explained in the manual. So I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Hope this helps all new Sengoku 3 players. I know this is supposed to be out on Xbox One and PS4 soon. I think it might already be on Xbox One, but I don't think it's on PS4 yet. But it's pretty much the same game. This is the Switch version, which I just got because it's portable. I've been playing this a lot outside of the house. I had a checkup today, and I played through a couple levels. It also has a save state. Now, you can't, like, save scum. I don't really see why you would want to, because you have infinite credits just by default. But if you want to play something else, or, you know, someone invites you to a Splatoon match or whatever, you can just create a save file here. And then if I go back in the game, it will put me back at that exact spot. Now, these ports aren't anything special. They didn't like really change anything about how the games function, but they have enough bells and whistles to make them worth $8, in my opinion. You know, preservation isn't the best when it's tied to a console, but for $8, I think they provide enough support in general. But yeah, that's my little overview for Sengoku 3. I hope this helps all new players. Don't feel bad if you had to credit feed through this game. I've been playing this game on and off since it came out, and it still takes me like the equivalent of like $3 or $4 to finish it. The end of the game especially is pretty rough. The final boss is a pain in the ass. You can't juggle him. You can barely even combo him at all. He turns invincible for a long time. A lot of people consider the final boss to be one of the biggest blemishes on this game, aside from the pacing. He's just no fun to fight. A lot of the mechanics just don't work on him, so I wouldn't really worry about credit feeding this. I think it's probably pretty fun to play with another person. I never actually have played this with someone else, but they do have online rankings and stuff here. Anyway, that's it. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.